All right, I'm going to go ahead and reteach or show some more examples and post it of how to find the focus in Directrix and go forwards and backwards with a focus or a Directrix writing the equation of a parabola. We already did this lesson yesterday, so this is just a continuation of some notes, and this is worksheet 7A. We got our vertex form. Our vertex is at HK. The focus is H, comma, K plus 1 over 4 times A. And the directrix is an equation of a line, Y equals K minus 1 over 4A. So first thing you want to do is look at your equation. Identify the value of A, which is negative 1. Identify the vertex, which would be at 0, 0. Okay, so then if you want to find your focus, you already know the Y part, the X part of the focus at 0. But you got to figure out the second part. So what I need is I need to know what 1 over 4 times A would be for this problem. Since A is negative 1, then that's going to be 1 over 4 times negative 1, which would be negative 4, or negative 1/4. So if I take 0, the K value, K plus negative 1/4 is what I'm doing, and K happens to be 0, then what would my value be here? Well, negative 1/4. You just added on negative 1/4. The directrix is in your formula sheet K minus 1 over 4A. The K value here again is 0. So you take and write the equation Y equals, you're taking K 0 minus the 1 over 4A value, which happens to be negative 1/4. So when you subtract a negative, you end up with a positive 1/4. Okay, and this said to also give the open direction of the opening of the parabola. This would have opened down. And the axis of symmetry is X equals H, and the H is 0. So X equals 0, which is a vertical line. Okay, simple, pretty simple one since it's at the origin for the vertex. Number 2 is a little more tricky because the vertex is not at the origin. So A is 1 here. So 1 over 4A is going to be 1/4. All right, and the vertex is at negative 4, negative 5. This parabola would open up, and the axis of symmetry is an equation X equals the H value, negative 4. Now, finding the focus. Focus is going to be the H value, negative 4 comes first. You just rewrite that. But I got to take negative 5, and I need to add to it whatever I got for 1 over 4A, which was 1/4. Negative 5 plus 1/4, you can use your calculator and type negative 5 plus 1 divided by 4. Or you can just think, well, if I took away a quarter from a whole, you'd get 3/4. And so this is going to be negative 4 and 3/4. Or you can write it, what your calculator is going to give you is negative 19/4 if you hit the math on or enter button after doing negative 5 plus 1/4. The directrix is the equation Y equals, and you got to do K minus 1 over 4A. So let me just write down what K is. I'm going to quit writing the formula because it's right there in your front of you on your little paper. So K is negative 5 minus our 1 over 4A is 1/4. So that'd be negative 5 1/4. Or in a mixed number form, that'd be negative 21/4. So that's or. You don't have to have both of these. You just need one or the other. Okay, now, number 3. Now we have an A value of 4. We have a vertex of 2, 1. What is 1 over 4A going to be? Okay, so now you want it's 1/16. Now I need you to remember, in what I saw as mistakes in the past, students think they're doing 1/4 times A. So if you're typing that and you're getting 1, that's wrong. Okay. It's 1 divided by 4 times the A value. Do not do 1/4 times A. It is 1 on top and 4 times the A value on the bottom. So 1/16 is the value of 1 over 4A for this problem. All right, this would open up, and the axis of symmetry would be x equals 2. Okay, now let's find the focus. Okay, so our focus will be 2 comma something. All right, we need to take and do k, which is 1 plus a 16th. So it's 1 and 1/16. Or if you use the calculator, it'd say 17/16. Okay, the directrix y equals 1 minus a 16th would be 15/16. A whole is 16 over 16. If you start thinking of like that, you'll be able to do them quick in your head too. Okay, everybody's flipping the page. It seems to me that the most mistakes are done or made when the A value is a fraction when you're trying to do focus and directrix. First thing I want to do, identify A. Identify the vertex. 6, 4. What is 1 over 4 times A? Well, that's going to be 1 over 4 times 1/2. Try doing that in your head, please. What's half of 4? 4 times a half means half of 4. 2. So it's 1/2. I wouldn't be typing this on your calculator. All right, so 1 over 4A equals a half. Now, this one's opening up, and the axis is x equals 6. All right, now I'll go find the stuff that's new, the focus and the directrix. All right, focus will be 6, and then we need to do 4 plus 1 over 4A is a half, so it'd be 4.5. The directrix y equals, take 4 minus a half, 3.5. And if you wrote it, it could be 9/2, or if you wrote it in fraction form, 6 7/2. I don't care which one. All right, this is 7b. Now we're going to graph the parabolas. Let me get rid of this, because I already did these earlier. Okay, good luck on your games. You're welcome. Yeah, we have a lot of athletes. Okay, so I'm going to reteach also graphing now. And then I'll start seeing if you guys want to help me out with some of these problems after I do a couple more. Oops, I'm not going to do that stuff. All right, 7b. Thank you. If you're given the vertex and the focus, you want to write the equation of the parabola in y equals a times x minus h quantity squared plus k form. We already know h and k. So y equals, I'm going to leave myself a little space, x minus 3 quantity squared plus 3. But I don't know the a value yet. So since I know the focus, and I know the focus is h comma k plus 1 over 4 times a, I can figure out this value of a by substituting in h and k into an equation. All right, I'm really not the h. I need to work on this part right here. Okay, so since I know the k, sorry, this is k plus 1 over 4a. Okay, the 5. K is a 3. Okay, so I'm going to put Well, the focus says that the 1 plus 4, k plus 1 over 4a is 5. My pen's sticking. All right, so since the y value here, ooh, something happened there. Oopsie, I lost my pen. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's just doing strange things. Sorry. Okay, the y value of the focus, 5, is equal to the k value, 3, plus 1 over 4a. All right, so how we solve for a would be subtract 3, get 2, equals 1 over 4 times a. Then we say, well, if you thought of 2 as a fraction, think of it as a proportion. You can do cross products. That would give you 8 times a equals 1. Divide by 8, and you get 1/8 for your a value. Equation's done. Now I'm going to show you how to graph it. The vertex is 3, 3. So 1, 2, 3, up 2, 3. Now you have options on how to get your next points. But the fastest way is to learn the 1 squared, 2 squared method. However, you have an a value of 1/8. So if you did 1/8 times 1 squared, that tells you how to move from the vertex, okay? That would be going up 1/8 over 1. I mean, it's just not very far at all. Just a horribly tiny little number, right? So it's kind of awkward to plot. But what if you did 1/8 of 2 squared? Well, that'd be 1/2. Okay? So let's see. It'd be up 1/2 over 2. So this parabola is pretty wide. You see what I'm getting at? You could keep going, but what's a nice one to put in so we get it finished? 1/8 of, I don't want to put in 3, 4. There you go. 1/8 of 4 squared would be 1/8 of 16, which is 2. So from the vertex, you can go up to, right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's what the 1 squared, 2 squared is, all it is from the vertex, right 1, right 2, right 3, right 4, and you can figure out where the points are by doing a value times those values squared. So it's the distance from the vertex is 4. I got 2 for the y. I can go to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, or up to left, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's your matching point. And then just sketch your parabola. So what I really would have, what I probably would have plotted is only this, the vertex, and this. Because I would have skipped these, but I'm explaining it, so I'm trying to show you how they actually are doable, but they're not nice points. Okay, let's do another one, graphing it together. But first, does somebody want to volunteer to help out with how to figure out number 3? Do you think you know? Or if you want to just go through it with me? No volunteers. Not yet? All right, I'll do this one. Oh, go ahead. All right, thank you, Des. Okay, so you're going to do, okay, so you're going to, got it. Skip the A for right now. Great. Okay. Good job. All right. Okay, she put in her H and her K. How do you find the Directrix? So let's give me the recipe for Directrix, or the formula that's on your little sheet. Okay, y equals K. I get my pen stuck. K minus 1 over 4 times A. All right, so we don't know A. What could we substitute in for the Y? And then what are we going to put in for K? Okay. And then we'll say, all right, now let's solve this algebraically. So we're going to Add 5 to both sides. She's got it set up correctly. Now, when I get negative 1 equals negative 1 over 4a, what would you do now? Okay. Cross multiply. And then what's our answer going to be for a? Correct. 1/4. Negative 1 over negative 4. 1/4. Good job. You got it. And now, having going through that, that'll probably help you remember it even better than before. So that's why I like it when somebody go through a problem with me. You tend to learn it better just doing that. All right, so let's check out. Let's do the graph. I'll do this with you because I'm trying to still kind of teach you how to graph these quickly without a calculator. All right. So let's go to the vertex. 4, negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm going to do the 1 squared, 2 squared method again, but I have a 1/4 a value. So I have to do 1/4 of 1 squared. That's kind of not a great point, but it would be, I would get a 1/4. So I'd only go up 1/4 and over 1. So that's like going here and here. So if I did a 1/4 of 2 squared, that's a 1/4 of 4. Oh, that's not bad. A 1/4 of 4 would be 1. So that'd be up 1, right 2, up 1, left 2, from the vertex. Isn't this a little easier than plugging numbers in here? Okay, it really is, right? So I'm hoping you're catching on to it. That's really enough to sketch the parabola, but what would be another good number to put in? Let's do 4 squared. Okay, so a 1/4 of 16, in case you're not understanding where I'm getting these answers, a 1/4 of 16 would be 4. All right, so if I go from the vertex up 1, 2, 3, 4, and right, 1, 2, 3, 4, I found another nice point. Go back to the vertex, up 4, and left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you got a beautiful shape, as long as you can hit your points. And there we go. That was number 3. Someone would like to go through the steps on number 4. Okay, Lucas. Okay, good. All right, now we're going to find A. So we're going to think about what we can do to find it. Okay. 1 for Y, yes. Good. Since you don't know what that is. Okay. All right. Add 1 to both sides. Or multiply by 4a on both sides. That is the same as cross multiplying. I just thought a lot of kids see the cross multiplying better. But you got to multiply by 4a. Okay. So that'd be 8a equals -1. Good. Perfect. All right. Okay, so we got a -1/8 for our a value. Now you should know immediately that that means the parabola is going to open, yep, down. Okay, so let's make sure that happens. So we'll go to our vertex for -1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm still going to show you the 1 squared, 2 squared method. I think we're getting the hang of this. But we have to take -1/8 times those. -1/8 times 1 squared would be -1/8. So you'd actually go down this tiny, tiny amount and over 1 and do the same on the left. So if I did -1/8 times 2 squared, I'm going to get -1/8 times 4, and that's a half, -0.5 or whatever. So I'd actually be going down a half over 2. So it's really not getting me very far, but it's still showing me the shape. So we decided that the best one to do if you had a -1/8 was 4. So let's not do the 3 squared. Let's do 4 squared, which is -1/8 times 16, and that gives me -2. Okay, so Down 2, right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 2, left 4. 1, 2. And then sketch. And I did not hit my points very pretty, but oh well. It just looks lopsided because the graph's not even symmetric with that parabola. Okay, graph each equation, identify the vertex, focus, and directrix. Does somebody want to go through 5 with me that didn't do that yet? It's okay if you make mistakes because then we learn. Come on, volunteer. Lucas, you just did one. Luke, I said Lucas instead of Luca. Sorry. I don't know why I keep doing that. I keep thinking that. I know. But I know. I actually do know correctly. I'm talking about this on my video. Oh, well. All right, Colin, come on. I'm picking you. Good. First, let's get the A value, though. Okay, and now let's get the 1 over 4A. Yes, it is. Okay, so you already knew that. So if you were like explaining somebody this is what you would have told them, right? So that was 1/4. Okay, now let's get the focus. Good. Okay, now one little correction. Look at your formula. Directrix isn't a point. A focus is a point. A directrix is a line. There you go. Y equals negative 1/4. 0 minus a fourth. Okay, do you want to explain how to graph it?
Vertex at 2.
Okay. Do we have a fourth though? So what's our A? Our A is a 1. So this is a kind where it works really nice because it's 1 times 1 squared, 1 times 2 squared. Okay, because A is a 1. So we're going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 left 1, right? And then what would the next one be? Okay, or up 1, 2, 3 over 2, whichever way you like to say it. Okay, up 2, 4, right, left 2. And then I think that's probably good enough, right? Let's go for it. We got 5 points. 5's the best, so go for 5, but 3 is the minimum. Yes, good job. All right, Diego. Diego, you're up.
All right.
Okay, negative 3/4, thank you. Yes. Let's get 1 over 4A. Okay, negative 1/4, yes. Now you got to do the, what am I going to calculate now? Look up, stop it. You can do it. Okay, go look on your formula thing. What do you do for the Y part of the focus? What about it? Look at the formula, sweet. It says K. Okay, so tell me what these values are. K and 1 over 4A are? Of your vertex. Okay, so that would be 4. What do I need to do to it? Or add negative 1/4, which would end up being subtracting a fourth, yes. Okay, so that's going to be 3 3/4 If you use a calculator and type 4 plus negative 1 divided by 4, your calculator is going to bounce back with a fraction that would be 15/4. All right, now Directrix. Can you please tell me what to do for that? Okay, the Directrix is found by doing K minus 1 over 4A. So plug in, please. What am I going to actually be calculating? Mm-hmm. Yeah, which would be adding it, so it's either 4 1/4, or if you did it on the calculator and typed 4 minus negative 1 divided by 4 and hit math enter, it'd be 17/4. Okay, I'm going to work on studying that formula. Okay. How about, that's it. That was the last one on 7. So I'm done teaching it. You have got to practice for proficiency. You've got worksheet 8 and 9 assigned. If you've been working on them already, awesome. But let's take care of that. Yes. Pardon? Oh, I forgot to graph it. All right. Why don't you help me graph it? You didn't finish. Okay. Okay, so tell me, you got to multiply by your A value, though. This guy let's do it. Ready? Where am I going to go next? And? Okay, and then what happens when I do this? Reverse that, please. Okay, and the other one? You're getting your point of symmetry. Mm-hmm. You could go again, probably. Negative 1 times 3 squared would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 1, 2, 3. And left 1, 2, 3. All right, now we're back. Oh, I missed. Oh well, hit your points. Mine just didn't come out very well. Oh, darn it. Now I can't turn that thing off. I got to figure out how to get this little screen thing on there better. All right, I need to be done.